Hey everybody, my name is Jeremiah Craig and Hondo is back on the channel today and I am so excited. This is a boot that I have been looking forward to doing a video on and trying out, and this is even better because today we are also starting this month's giveaway. We are looking at the Hondo 78-75 Natural Retan Work Boots. Let's get into it.
Old boots got soul, and I carry on this way, and we get better every day.
All right, I've been wanting to try this boot for a while now because I just haven't found the perfect rubber outsole boot for my cowboy boot lineup ever since I got rid of my Abilene. I tried the Fry oiled suede ropers, not quite right. The Ariat Planos, not quite right either. I've just needed a nice rubber sole kick around boot, and those two haven't done it yet. I've been looking at the Hondo 78-75 for a while now, so when they reached out and said, we wanna do a giveaway for this boot, I was over the moon. So let's see what we got here in our envelope. Hondo stickers, yes, you know how much I love stickers. And we have our, make sure you have the right fit and boot care information. Now, let's check out these Hondo 78-75s. Yes, yes, love it. Haha, I'm so pumped. All right, so super simple boot here, but everything about this I am just a huge fan of right off the bat. Let's get right down into it. This is a retan leather, so that means they tanned it twice. Chrome-based tanning and then also vegetable-based tanning. That gives it a very durable yet supple feel to it, and it's perfect for a work boot, guys. This doesn't need very much. This doesn't need all the ornate stitching in the shaft. It doesn't need all this fancy stuff. This is a boot that is meant to be worn, and the personality comes through use and wear. We also have a 3/4 Goodyear welt stitch all around this boot here, and a nice rubber sole. This is the kind of rubber sole that I really like. There's not a lot of really aggressive tread, but it gives you enough so you don't fall on your ass when you're working, if you're working on dirt, or pavement. So you have a nice broad range of what you could do with this boot. This is also a good rubber outsole for horseback riding. From my understanding, it's not so aggressive that you're gonna get hung up in the stirrups. In fact, when I was horseback riding several years ago, I was never very good at it, but I would always choose my Abilene's with a similar Vibram rubber outsole, just because if I ever wanted to get down and walk around, I wouldn't danger myself from slipping. Leather outsoles are really slippy, and sometimes it's just a little bit too much if you're doing a lot of different things. So this is the most versatile rubber outsole I think that you can get. And it's not just on Hondos, you can get them on several different types of boots, but the fact that Hondo is using it here on the 78-75, I'm a huge fan of. I love this outsole. We also have a leather stacked heel. It's about a 1.5 inch heel, so not too much. A nice height to be working all day in if you have to be on your feet all day long. On the inside, we have a leather lining, just like Hondo is known for, all leather here, pretty much, except for the rubber outsole and the shank. I mean, Hondo makes their boots really traditionally, and on the inside, you also have that hard leather insole that you may like or you may really dislike, but just know that this is a hard leather insole. It's a very traditionally made boot. If you're not a fan of the hard leather insole, you might not like this boot, and you might have to put in a foam insole or something like that, but to be honest, the hard leather insole is the way to go because it's gonna form to your foot, and there's just less to break down as the boot ages. That's one of the big disadvantages of going with boots with removable insoles, is that they will eventually break and you will have to replace them. There's just less to replace. I mean, a simple boot is where it's at, guys. You don't need that much, and Hondo is so good at making traditionally made boots for years. It's just simple. It is what it needs to be. Let's try this boot on. All right, so I got the 12B from Hondo in this 78-75, and damn, it feels so good to have a proper fitting boot. I just did a video earlier this morning about one of the worst fitting boots that I've tried this year, but this one, God, it's just perfect. It's all right there. U-toe looks really good here. As you can see, I see Hondo doing a lot of U-toes, and they do it well too. That white stitching is definitely gonna get dirty real fast. So I'm not sure exactly how I feel about that, but these are meant to be used. I mean, I really don't care what color stitching they have on the welt, just because it's gonna get worn and it's gonna get dirty. Like, that's what these boots are for. And that rubber outsole feels really nice. It's not as heavy as I thought it was gonna be, and that's probably due to the all leather aspects of it. I'm so excited to wear these boots pretty much anywhere and everywhere. These are so awesome. This fits the need in my boot lineup that was left by the Abilenes. This is amazing. Let's see what happens. All right, so I came home for Father's Day weekend, and I'm gonna do some work around the property in these Hondo 78-75s. Gonna start out with some weed whacking, and then we'll see where we go from there. Periodically, when you're doing this, you gotta make sure that there's no poison ivy. Oh, look at a skunk. Skunk alert. Oh, right there. There's some poison ivy. Just gotta be careful not to weed whack poison ivy, because if you do and you get that on you, nightmare, nightmare. So I won't be weed whacking that part. We'll have to spray. My mom just brought me this new hat. Now we're really cooking. Here's all the junk I pulled out of the ditch. Don't litter, folks. Don't litter. Finished up this side, minus the section with the poison ivy. I'm not gonna mess around with that junk. Now, it's time to go pull out some trees. What? Let's do it. Skin the tree. Looks like a snake skin. Make some boots out of that. Hondos. All right, guys, I spent a ton of time with these Hondo 78-75s, probably the most time that I've spent with any boot that I've done an extended test on. I got these back in May. The first thing that stood out to me while I was wearing this boot was the re-tan leather. This is the first boot that I've ever had that uses this type of leather, and like I said, it is tanned twice, one chrome tan, one vegetable tan, and it gives it a little bit more of a water-resistant quality. In a lot of boots, the leather will soak up some of the water. This doesn't really do that as much as other boots, so it makes for a really good work boot. I've found, and I did a lot of work in this. Not only when I went home and do some yard work and to take those trees out, but I also did a bunch of work here at my house, and also I did some landscaping work here in the city as a pickup job, and then I also went on several hikes in this boot. So I've been using this boot for a lot of different things. I really like this, especially for the price point. Now, it's coming in at $274, but you can find it as low as $220 in a lot of places, and that's like a direct competitor to some of the boots that Ariat is releasing, and I like this a lot better. That is if you can get used to the hard leather insole. This is very traditionally made, so you do have hard leather in here, and it might be a little bit new for some of the folks who are coming from the more cushioned insole world. It might be a little bit of a shock, but I prefer the hard leather insole because it ends up forming to your foot, it won't break down, or at least it shouldn't, and it will last a lot longer. I can already feel the impression of my foot in this hard leather insole, so it's shaping up to be a comfortable boot for me, for sure. I do have a couple of things that I'm not so fond of with this boot, and we'll start off with the stitching on the toe bug and at the pull holes. It tends to come loose pretty easy. As you can see, a lot of threads are coming up all over the boot at the toe bug, and it's coming loose up here at the pull holes as well. However, that can be easily fixed with a lighter. You just burn the edges here and it should keep it from happening, but it will end up fraying in other areas, and it's just something that you're going to have to revisit when that's not really something that I have a problem with other brands. And another spot that I'm not so fond of with this boot is the rubber heel cap. Now, the rubber sole is nice, it's got some nice cushion to it and some nice tread, but the rubber heel cap just doesn't stick on there very well, and I don't know if it's a combination of the glue that they use and the placement of the nails and how they're so centered, but the edges do come loose. As you can see here, I found that as being a very big vulnerability, especially when I was working out here in the yard and kicking a fence post to take it out, and also using these boots with a lot of shovel work. I did lose a large chunk of the rubber heel cap because it did get caught on either the shovel or the fence, and then the chunk just came off. So this is a pretty big vulnerability in this boot, and I spoke to Phil over at Hondo Boots about it, and he said they are actually in the process of switching this out to Vibram rubber outsoles. So if you see this boot with the Vibram rubber outsole, they should have that rubber heel cap issue fixed. But that is the biggest thing that I have against this boot, and some other Hondos as well, is just that the rubber heel cap tends to come loose at the corners. Other than that though, this has been a very awesome work boot, a nice beater boot to just throw on no matter the weather, no matter what you're doing. It's been able to handle everything that I give it, even with the little chunk coming off of the heel cap here. It still worked all day, and I didn't even notice that that happened until the end of the day. I like this boot a lot. It's one of my favorites that I've tried this year. It definitely helps that they are doing narrow widths, so this is a 12B, and every time I put this on, it's just like, that is the way a boot should fit, and I'm so happy that Hondo can make B widths for folks. Now, it's time to talk about the giveaway, because one of you watching this video right now will come away with a pair of Hondo 7875s in your size. Here's what you have to do to enter to win. Make sure that you are subscribed to my channel. If you're already subscribed, step 1 is already taken care of for you. Step number 2, hit that link in the description, and there's a form on my website that I want you to fill out with your email and your YouTube name and stuff like that, and that just makes it easier for me to contact you if you win. So do those two things, subscribe and fill out the form at the link in the description, and you are entered to win. Then on September 6th, we're having a special Labor Day Boots and Ballads live stream where I will announce the winner of these Hondo 7875s and have some other giveaways for folks live on stream with me. Huge thanks to Hondo for helping me make this giveaway possible. Let me know what you thought of the 7875s down in the comments, and good luck in the giveaway. Thanks for watching. Peace.
78, 75s from Hondo. Got a lot that you can be fond of. So put them to work and bring them to life. Hondo 78, 75, yeah. Thank you so much for watching today. My name is Jeremiah Craig. Good luck in the giveaway. Don't forget to subscribe and fill out that form at the link in the description. Yeah. I'll see you next time. Peace.